Hello guys, and welcome to another in-depth review here on NNT Auto Reviews. My name is Tyler, as always, behind the camera, giving you guys these in-depth reviews. And today we'll be checking out a really nice car here, and it is of course the all-new 2018 BMW 640i xDrive Gran Turismo. Alright, so before we get into the details of the car, as you can tell, this car is fully wrapped, and the reason for that is because of the New England snow. Now we use the snow brushes to get all the snow off the cars, and those tend to scratch the paint. So this BMW dealer left all the wrappings on the car so the car wouldn't get scratched for its new owners. So just a little disclaimer there for you guys in case you're wondering why it's all wrapped. Okay, so as far as the window sticker goes on this particular car, we have all of our options and included features off to the left. We have all of our standard features up over here. Our fuel economy and all that good stuff is over there. And then our parts content is all the way over to the right. Now I do apologize for the wind noise. It's pretty windy here today, but we do have a beautiful day to film. So as far as options here, we have the base price of $69,100. We have the carbon black metallic, which is an extra $550. The driving assistance plus package, the M Sport package, which is really nice. Adds some really nice sporty features to an otherwise more luxuriously focused car. We have the executive package, which gives you some really neat features that I'm going to demonstrate for you guys. We have the heated front and rear seats, which comes in at $350. The power rear side window shades, $575. And the remote control parking, which is really cool. We also have the Apple CarPlay compatibility, Harman Kardon sound system, the refrigerant, which is really neat, the black kidney grills, and our BMW destination, or the first aid kit rather. And our destination cost is $995, which brings this car to a total sticker price of $79,655. Now moving over to our parts content, you can see that 5% of the parts come from US and Canada, and 55% come from Germany. Final assembly point, engine, and transmission are all made in Germany. If we wrap around to the side of the 640 GT, we have 6 different color choices, this one being the carbon black metallic, and the wheelbase stands at 120.9 inches. And wrapping up our little overview of the exterior, the only drivetrain option available is that wonderful xDrive all-wheel drive. Alright, so trying to block out the wind as much as I can, let's go ahead and check out the exterior features to this beautiful BMW. Now again, remember it does have the optional black kidney grills, so they would typically be a silver color, but it does look pretty nice blacked out. Check that out. And again, just remember the hood is wrapped, and so is the roof because of the snow removal. It's just a lot easier to clean the car that way. But as far as our headlights go, really nice design. Fully LED units for high and low beams, LED daytime running lights, and your turn signals that is all LED up there, which is really nice that BMW includes that. You also have parking sensors going all the way across the front bumper. You have air intakes up front, down below, even to the sides. You also have active shutters, so when the car is cool, the shutters will close and they'll give you more aerodynamics, which means better fuel economy. You also have that little camera up front for your 360 degrees view camera system, and your sensor right down there for all of your active safety features. Pretty good looking at front end, and tons of features up there up front too. So as far as the hood goes, we get the general idea of what it looks like. Obviously it's going to be black when you unwrap it, and it's also going to be nice and shiny because they have the hood wrap on it, but you can see that there's some little creases towards the sides there. Now as far as our wheels go, these are M Sport specific wheels, and they are 19-inch wheels. So we have the alloy machine finish color on the outside of the spokes, and darker gray pockets on the inside, which makes it look really nice. The tires up front measure 245/45, and they are the same in the back. We have ventilated disc brakes up front, and it looks like we have 4-piston calipers up front too. So pretty nice wheel and brake setup. You can see we also have a parking sensor even on the side. And moving on from the wheels, we have some nice little heat extracting vents there on the bottom. Pretty nice side sills on the bottom as well. And then we also have the sort of shadow line exterior trim, so we have all the gloss black going all the way around the windows. Nice body colored mirrors with the LED turn signals in them. I'll wrap around to give you a better view of that. We also have the little camera there, another camera for the 360 degrees view camera system. We also have our blind spot detection and of course a better view of that LED turn signal there. But taking a look down here, we have some pretty nice door handles with some chrome accents. We also do have the smart key entry system, which I'll demonstrate how you work that. Moving up top, again, it's covered with that plastic wrap, but there is a panoramic sunroof up there and the shark fin antenna. We have our rear door handle back here, and then our rear wheels, same setup as the front. We have single piston calipers and ventilated disc brakes. Wrapping around towards the rear, I really like how the Gran Turismo. Now, a lot of people didn't like the way the 5 Series Gran Turismo looked. For me personally, I think it was one of my favorite BMW models, and this one is pretty much no exception as the successor to the 5 Series GT. Now, taking a look back here, we have full LED tail lamps. And as far as badges go back here, we have the nice GT badge, our xDrive all-wheel drive badging, the BMW badge of course, and the 640i logo. Back here we also have parking sensors going all the way across the back bumper. Pretty nice tailpipes coming out there. And we also have a power spoiler, so if you press a button on the inside, the spoiler will pop up for you. It's a really nice feature. Alright, so for this portion of the video, let's go ahead and see what lies underneath the hood. Remember to pull the lever twice to completely unlatch the hood. Alright, so popping the hood on the 640i xDrive Gran Turismo, we find one engine choice, but it is a pretty awesome engine nonetheless. It's a 3-liter turbocharged inline 6, and it produces 335 horsepower at 5,500 RPM and 332 pound-feet of torque at, get this, between 1380 and 5,500 RPM. So that is a huge span of torque that you get there. So you're going to have torque pretty much throughout the whole rev range, which is really awesome thanks to that twin scroll turbocharger, which is pretty awesome. So you have your air box right over here with your air cleaner inside. You have your, looks like your batteries back there too, or at least battery connections. You also have your windshield washer fluid reservoir over there. Some more reservoirs over here. Pretty a large engine cover, but it is a pretty fancy looking one. And our engine is mounted this way since it is a rear-wheel drive bias car. Top of the hood is completely insulated up there, which is nice for the sound. And then you also have some strut braces coming from the struts to the front supports of the car. Alright, so before we go ahead and check out the interior, let's go ahead and see how the smart key entry system works. So before you start locking and unlocking, make sure that key fob that you get with the car is within a proximity of the car. So the car's unlocked at the moment, as you can see, but just for a demonstration purpose, you can see this little pattern there on the door handle on the inside. Just tap that, it'll beep and lock the doors. But if you want to get back in, all you need to do is reach behind the door handle and it'll open right up for you. Now, as far as color choices go, complete leather interior is standard. However, there's two different grades of leather. We have the standard grade, which is called the Dakota leather, and it is in the Cognic color scheme. That is one of 6 color choices that you get with the Dakota leather. Then you can also get an upgrade to the Napa leather, and you can choose between 4 different color choices with the Napa leather. So, taking a look at the door panel, we can obviously see that it's a frameless door, and all 4 doors are frameless. There's a little bit of covering on the door. Peel it off quick and just see that that is all soft touch material there, which is really nice to see. All soft touch, pretty much the whole door is. But we do get some leather over here where our arm is going to rest and some nice stitching. Nice wood accents too. You have a bunch of different trims that you can choose. So a bunch of different woods. I believe there's an aluminum, piano black, all that good stuff. So, but as far as buttons and features, we have the lock unlock, the door handle. We have 2-person memory seats. We also have our window lockout for the rear. We also have the sunshade. We could put that up and down with this button right here. All of our regular window controls, everything is fully automatic up and down. We could also fold in our mirrors, so for tight parking spaces, and then this is just the rest of your mirror controls. In our pocket right here, again, it's covered, so that's why the cardboard is there, so people like me don't mess it up. But we have a bottle holder and a little bit of storage in there. We also have the ability to open the trunk from the driver's door. And we do have the Harman Kardon audio system, which there's 2 speakers in the door, and that sounds perfect. So really nice door panel, and I really do like this Cognic color interior, and the leather's got a really nice rich grain to it. So as far as the left of the dash goes, we have a little bit of wood and some, it looks like aluminum accents and air vent. Then we have most of our lighting controls are housed over here as well. So our regular lights are over here. We also have the gauge dimmers as well as our parking sensors. We could turn those on and off. Over here we have a little tray that where we could store like change for toll booths and whatnot. And working our way down here, we have some nice metal pedals with the raised rubber grips. Nice dead pedal over here, and it's got the little M Sport logo. Just the plastic is blue. The actual plate itself is that stainless steel color. We also have the hood release like you saw earlier, and the floor mats are actually velcroed in, so they'll keep in place for you. Now, same thing with this door panel, this door sill over here. It's going to be the stainless steel color, just a protection over it for the new owner. And over here, you have a better view of the power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Now, take a look at these seats. Really nice design to these seats. Now, again, this is probably my favorite color for this car. And they are 16-way movable seats, so you have your regular back and forth, up and down the backrest, and then you can also adjust your side bolsters, so these will go in and out to hug you in better. And then we also have the 4-way lumbar, and then we can also adjust our thigh extensions too, which is really nice. But just take a look at the details on the seat. There's stitching everywhere. There's also a nice design in the center portion of the seats, but really nice seats. I'm impressed with these very nice seats here. But let's go ahead and climb in, get out of the wind. We can start it up and check out the rest of the interior. Alright, so here's the key fob that BMW gives you when you purchase the 640i Gran Turismo. It's a really nice key, metal buttons, metal accents on the side, and a little M Sport colors if you order the M Sport package, which is really nice there, so it kind of differentiates the models a little bit. On the back it's pretty blank, but you got the little metal accents there too. But as far as functions, you have unlock. Lock is the BMW logo. And you have a trunk release and a panic alarm. So all you really need to do to start this car is make sure the keys are on the inside of the interior. Make sure you put your foot on the brake and press that engine start stop button right there. Alrighty, so we could start off the interior with this really nice leather wrap steering wheel. It's got some really nice grip bolsters, I could say that right now, right up towards the 10 and 2 notches. So really nice thick steering wheel up here. Even over here is pretty thick too. But we have some really nice stitching on the inside of the wheel. Not a whole lot of texture too, which is again nice. But as far as the functionalities of the wheel, we have the full adaptive cruise control over here. We also have the lane keeping assist right there with that button. But most of the other buttons are for the adaptive cruise control, which is pretty awesome. Moving across the airbag cover, it is nicely leather trimmed with some stitching. We do have some voice commands, so Bluetooth telephone control. We also have the audio volume right here, as well as changing between your presets, which is pretty nice. Again, the steering wheel is tilt and telescoping with that little power lever over there. We also do have the heated steering wheel button right there. So nice to see that we have these paddle shifters. They are nice metal shifters, and then it seems like that there's rubber at the back, so they're not slippery. Nice to see those. We also have some stalks here with some more lighting controls. So our high beams are right here. We have our turn signals, of course. And this button over here is to turn off your automatic high beams. And this button over here is for the controls in the display up there, which we will get into in a few minutes. And we also have our front and rear wipers. These are also automatic. So up here, there's going to be a little bit of glare because there's plastic over it. I didn't want to take it off because the new customer probably wouldn't be very happy with me. However, that is a full LCD display, so there's nothing analog up there at all. Everything's all LCD, and it's got a really elegant look to it. This is just a standard screen that we have up here. So our fuel gauge is right there. Our temperature gauge is right over here. Rev counter and our speedometer. Also in our speedometer, you can see that little square right there that'll show us our speed limit. It shows your exterior temperature right there, and a digital clock. It'll also show us if our start-stop is engaged, as well as what gear we're in. But we can go ahead and use this little button right here on the turn signal stalk to go through more information. So this will bring up our total mileage and a trip computer. We can also bring up how well we're driving. So it'll give you an instant miles per gallon rating right there. We also have some more fuel economy information, and then back to a blank screen. So pretty nice setup up here. Really kind of bright, so it's not as much glare as I was expecting, and even if you peel that plastic off, I could bet you that there's probably not going to be any glare at all, which is really nice, of course. Now taking a look up here, we have a pretty nice upper dash. Seems like it is leather with some stitching. You can also see our housing up here for the heads-up display. I'm not quite sure if you can make out the heads-up display. It's kind of hard to see. There we go. So it'll give you your digital speed readout right up there, and then again, your speed warning. You can see that right on that M4 right across from us. But taking a look down here, we have our BMW iDrive, and since it's on our reverse screen, I'd like to point out a really neat feature that I found while getting this car up here on the roof. It has these, so this is our bird's eye view camera, so it puts together the 4 cameras that are on the outside of the vehicle and gives you a top-down view. It also shows you where your doors will end up, so if you wind up parking in a really tight spot, this will show you how far your doors will swing out so you don't go hitting the car next to you. That's a really neat feature that I think every car should have. It seems pretty ridiculous, but it's going to help you out a lot. And then we also have our normal backup camera, which is actually pretty really nice high resolution there. So really nice to see that. We can also swipe between our different views here. Now this is really, really cool. We saw the cameras on the outside of the mirrors. This kind of gives you a virtual representation of the car. So that's virtual right there. And it'll show you what's going on. So I'm going to put the car in gear at the moment. And we'll see what happens when we move around. So you can see the car actually moving. You can see the cars that are out there. That is just so cool to me. And it'll predict your path with the guidance lines there. So really, really cool feature. I'm not even quite sure how they do that. Let's just leave it at its magic. But we can go to the home screen up here by just pressing this button. It's a really nice new iDrive system. BMW seems to be using it in a lot of their products, which is good because it's a really nice system. It is touchscreen, so we have all of our different menus up here. So our media screen, right over here, we have all of our different selections for the radio. We have presets up there too. Communication, so we have all of our different phone controls and all that good stuff is up here. Contacts and all that stuff will sync over once you pair your phone via the Bluetooth. Going back to home, we have our navigation screen. Really nice screen there. We have a bunch of different menus over here, so we can input our destination right there. You can also swipe over to our connected drive, so which means you can access the internet, all that good stuff. Your My Vehicles, all of your different settings. So we can really get into detail with these settings, even checking your engine oil level. It gets pretty in-depth with all of the different settings here. Vehicle status, we can see that you could check our tire pressure monitoring system, obviously the oil, engine oil level. This will display your horsepower and torque, what's going on right now with that. And we go back to the screen, we also have notifications, so you can set reminders, and there's also going to be service reminders in there, which is cool. So if we take a look down here, we have all of our climate control and radio stuff. We also have our engine start stop button, and our auto start stop is right there. We have a couple of air vents over here with our hazards button. This button over here will also tell you all of your different safety features, so you can turn what you want off or just turn it all off, which is a nice feature there, since I'm not a huge fan of the active safety features. But down here we have all of our radio control. So this little quadrant there, we have a CD player, and this also reminds me, this car also does have the gesture control. So if you find the right spot, you can turn the audio volume up, as you see, and then we could wind it right on down. And if we go like this, It'll turn the radio on and off, which is awesome. You can also make a gesture to answer a phone call and hang up a phone call. Pretty neat system if you find the right area to do the gestures in. And taking a look down here, we have an automatic climate control, dual zone, true dual zone, so we could pick our different temperatures for either side. And we also have our own fan speed, so this guy can have a different fan speed than me, which is also pretty neat. 3-stage heated seats for both the driver and passenger. We have the AC, max front and rear defrosters, all of our different zones, so we want the air to blow. Same with this side, we also have the AC and recirculating the air. So nice wood slab up here. Again, there are different choices of wood, including a matte wood choice, which would be my choice. But this is the regular, gloss wood. It is real wood, so not any of that fake stuff. But if we take a look down here, we have a wireless charging pad, also a USB plug-in down there for those of you who don't have a wireless charging capability phone like me. A couple of cup holders down here with some grips so your drinks aren't going to be moving around, and you also have a 12-volt power outlet. Now taking a look down here, we have the typical BMW electronic shift lever, and it is for an 8-speed automatic, which is pretty awesome. So we're in park at the moment, but if you want to get into reverse, all you have to do is press this little unlock logo and put it all the way up. A reverse camera, of course, will pop up. And we have guidance lines that adjust as we turn the steering wheel. We also have neutral and drive. And we could also put it into the manual mode there, where we can cycle between all the gears with the paddle shifters. And we could also shift it manually with the shifter up here too. And to put it into park, just press the P right there. And we're all set. So we do have a little array of buttons down here. Now we'll go ahead and show all of them for you. We have the traction control off button. We have 3 different modes, so sport mode, comfort, and eco pro mode. If we are in the comfort mode as we speak. If we put it in the eco mode, it'll change up the display, which is pretty awesome. It'll kind of give us like a power gauge, so if we're using 0% of the power right now, but if we get on the gas, we'll be at 50% and whatnot. I like how the needles change that, like electric blue. We also have the sport mode, which changes up the display up there too, makes it all red, ready for sport. Then we also have our sport individual mode, so we can change up all of our different settings in the display up there to exactly what we want. Well, for now, let's go ahead and just leave it in comfort mode. Down here we have a couple of buttons as well for our parking aid, so we can turn that on and off. It'll bring up our parking camera for us at any time, which is always nice. We also have the button for just our rear view camera, which is really nice. It's a nice wide angle view there. So if it is the the front camera there. I just realized that because I was gonna say there's no BMW X5 behind us, but take a look at how far it spans. So it'll span from all the way over there to all the way over here, really, which is awesome. We also have the button over there to put up the rear spoiler, which is awesome. So electronic parking brake, all you need to do is, it's activated at the moment, you can see that by the little red logo there. So if we deactivate it, just press it down, make sure your foot's on the brake, and to activate it, pull it up. You'll feel it in the brake pedal. It'll go down a little bit just to make you, just to give you a little reassurance that the parking brake is set. We also have the auto hold feature, so if you're on a hill at a red light, you can press that button right there. It'll hold the car, so you don't have to keep your foot on the brake, and you're all set. We also have the typical controller that you get for the iDrive setup. You can of course use this instead of the touchscreen if you want. So you can go around like that. We also can move it around like that and then press it down to select. And there's a bunch of shortcuts all around that button there. Now moving around to here, we have this nice center console. It's not exactly soft, but it is nice and big so that you can share it with your passenger. There's a little release right where my middle finger is, and you press that in, it'll separate like so. Pretty good amount of storage. I guess you can store some sunglasses and stuff in there. Little 12-volt power outlet with a USB inlet and a little light in there too. Pretty nice storage tray in there. We have an auto-dimming rear view mirror with your 3 garage door home links under there, as you can see. We also have our lighting up here, which is pretty nice. SOS controls up there, as well as our sunroof controls. So I'm going to open the shade here. Really nice big panoramic sunroof. And of course the plastic is over it, so I'm not going to open it up, but you can vent it upwards to let the air out, or just slide it right on back to get the full effect of the sunroof. Nice headliner up here too. A couple of visors. You have a mirror with an LED light up here. You can also move the visors to the side so that you don't get any sun in your face from the side there. So overall, pretty nice interior. Tons of features. You can even option on more features like a cooled seats up front and all that good stuff. This car just doesn't have that feature, but you can definitely order it. You also do have grab handles up here. I wanted to mention that. But I'm going to go ahead and adjust my seat to a normal driving position for myself, and we'll go ahead and check out the rear quarters back there too. Alrighty, so now that the front driver's seat is adjusted to my 5'10" self, let's go ahead and take a look at how much room we have in the back. Now the rear doors do have the smart key entry as well, which is nice to see. Again, black glass is frameless. So pretty nice soft touch materials, except for up here because there is a window shade. Actually, I could put that up for you and show you, which is really nice. It's fully automatic. But as far as buttons back here, we have a huge storage tray, it looks like, with a bottle holder back here. We have a couple of speakers, nice grills for the Harman Kardon speakers, little GT emblem with the metalwork, some woodwork, and some nice soft door panels right here where your arm's going to rest. The back passengers also do have the M Sport sills back here. And take a look at these seats back here. Same really nice seats. And if you think these seats are fancy, you can get even fancier ones for a little bit of an additional cost. Let's go ahead and hop in and see how much room I have back here. So really pretty comfortable back seats, I have to say that. But take a look at how much room I have. So I'm 5'10", and I have plenty of room. We have a mat pocket back here. We have some climate controls back here, some vents, heated rear seats as well. We have 2 12-volt power outlets so that you could charge your devices back here. Pretty big drivetrain hump, but that's what to be expected. It is all-wheel drive, of course. And if we take a look over here, we have an armrest. Pretty nice and soft. This also opens up right over here for a couple of cup holders. And these seats do fold 40, 60, or 40, 20, 40 rather, so that you could fold this portion down individually from the rest of the seats, as you can see there, to fit skis through or what have you. So the sunroof continues nicely back here. It's just a little bit before my head. There's some grab handles, coat hooks over here and up there too. We have some lights, so LED lights. We have a big light and then two smaller lights. Here's a nice overview of the interior, and it feels like a really big car, which is nice for a family. But next, let's go ahead and check out what the front passenger space has to offer. So the front passenger door is pretty much like the driver's as far as the design goes. We have a few less buttons, but that's to be expected. So obviously a window switch is right here. Lock, unlock, you have a door handle, a couple speakers. Pretty good amount of storage here as well. You have the side sill. And this seat is covered in plastic, but it looks exactly like the driver's. And the passenger seat is treated to that same 16-way power adjustments. As far as the glove box goes, there's a nice metal handle. And there's a little bit of storage in there, but it is felt lined, so whatever you put in there is going to stay protected. And it's lockable, of course. And next, let's go ahead and check out the trunk space. So you can pop the trunk a few different ways, but we're going to go ahead and use the button on the key fob just to show you guys that it is a full power trunk lid. You can also kick your foot right near this sensor right here, and it'll open that right on up. Now there is some plastic back here which you're going to have to excuse. However, there's a ton of room back here. It is all nicely carpeted. We have the emergency kit back here, which is nice to have. We can also fold down the rear seats with this button right here, and also this one. I have a power outlet too, and you can see better where the seats fold. Cargo shades back here too, and you could also shut the trunk with these buttons right here. But I'm going to show you how to shut it just with kicking your leg. And this system works a lot better than previous systems that I've tested. Alright, so opening the lid to the 18-gallon fuel tank. The car does require 91 octane, or 89 at the minimum. But as far as fuel economy goes, I think it's pretty good. You get 20 in the city and 28 on the highway. We have a traditional cap and tether system right there. And you could hang the cap right here. There's a little pin on the end of the cap on the other side. So to wrap up this video, I'm glad that you have chosen this video to watch. And I hope you stay with us for future in-depth reviews.